You're watching the health site at India.com. Today, on the occasion of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, we have with us someone very special, a fitness enthusiast and a co-founder of Food Darzi, Dr. Siddharth Bhargava. Hi Siddharth, how are you?
Hi Tabishi, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm really good. So, as today is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, so the session is all about our elders, our senior citizens. So what are your thoughts on it? I mean, how do you consider this day and everything?
I think it's a very important day, and especially with how fast-paced life has become now, we do start neglecting the older generation without keeping in mind everything that they've done for us. So it's important to raise awareness because sometimes people just forget that you need to be taking care of the elders, which is so stupid because you should not be forgetting about it. But I don't know, maybe people need reminders, and days like these just add on to it.
My very first question is that how can we prevent our elders from certain diseases?
I think what's important is to just enhance the way they've been living in general, because things like COVID or things like old age, things like opportunistic infections that happen in the elders have a lot to do with how their immunity systems have been functioning for a while. Just strengthening that at times is not enough, but we need to start with that at least. And one thing that needs to be said is that you can't just be taking vitamin C capsules and assuming that your immunity is just going to get boosted randomly. It's more a collective effort of what you eat, what you do, how you exercise, how much sun exposure you're getting, etc., etc. So I think a lifestyle modification or a lifestyle improvement is the most important thing out there. Whether it's them actually walking in the sun a little more, getting a little more vitamin D, whether it's them consuming more colored fruits and vegetables for the vitamin C, whether it's them just increasing the amount of protein that they're consuming, because what happens is as you start getting older, your muscles start degenerating, your collagen production in your body starts reducing, and a protein does form a key over there.
May I know what should be a senior citizen's diet?
So protein, fiber, and not having processed and simple sugars are three major changes that they need to be making in their diet.
My third question is what exercises and yoga, as we have on 21st June, we have our International Yoga Day. So what they should do?
So for a person who's inclined towards exercising, I think they can do whatever they want. We've all seen senior citizens who run, who swim, who go to the gym. On the other hand, for a person who's not inclined towards exercising, for them, just getting them to move is important. So even if it is taking a walk every day for 20 minutes, as long as they're doing that, as long as they're just stretching, it's all right. And when we talk about yoga, of course, doing complicated asanas is not for them. But even if they can get in 5 Surya Namaskars a day, 10 Surya Namaskars a day, even if they're just focusing on their breathing, something is better than nothing. And that's the approach that needs to be taken always.
How should we support them emotionally?
I think it's got a lot to do about empowering them to make their own decisions and to be a little more independent, because what happens is that once they start feeling a dependency on the younger generation, that's when they start losing themselves a little bit. This has happened with a lot of my grandparents as well. But on the other hand, the ones that remain independent, the ones that make better decisions, the ones that remain interested in a lot of things, basically having interest is important. Now, whether that interest is teaching them how to use the phone, whether that interest is teaching them how to use YouTube or Netflix. But the whole point is that you don't really see, they don't expect you to be there for them all the time. They don't, because they've also been the younger generation. That's not what they're asking for. But at times they're just asking for a little help to be able to live the life that they've always lived on their own.
So let's talk about your podcast now. It's your first podcast. Share
Yes.
the experience with us. How was it and what it has for youngsters like us?
I think it's a podcast that's going to help everybody from different stratas of society. It's got really nice anecdotal tips, it's got factual tips, it's got scientific tips, it's got a large part of my story, it's got a lot of stories from other popular people that It's just about teaching people how they can make smarter choices. It's about teaching people that smarter choices are not always harder choices. It's about teaching people that health needs to be a priority. Whether there's no need to make it a number one priority, but keeping it on your priority list and how to basically get a lot done with your health by not doing too much is what my podcast can actually teach you. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Abhishek.
For your time, for everything, for such valuable insights. And thank you so much for joining.